Imagine you are walking alone on a late night street in a city, and you are starving and exhausted, and try to find a cozy place to comfort yourself. It would be very ideal if this place can provide you some simple and heartwarming snacks. But you know that it is really a silly idea because now it's way too late and way too early to find a store like still opening. Yet, suddenly, a wonderland with bright red street sign comes into your sight. It's a Yonghe soy milk stores.
Hello, welcome to the Islanders podcast. My name is James.
And my name is Daniel.
And my name's Yan.
As you heard in our little story in the beginning, today we're going to talk about Yonghe soy milk stores.
Yes.
So do you want to tell us what that is?
Okay, let me introduce what it is.
Mm-hmm.
So Yonghe soy milk stores sell Chinese snacks and freshly made soy milks, which are our national food and drinks. So the food is a food like maybe fried breadstick and seasoned rolls.
Sesame rolls?
Yes.
Like bread? Yeah, a little bit bread.
Yeah.
Fried breadsticks and soy milk. Soy milk is the most important staple in this kind of a store. Yeah.
And actually, so different kinds of drinks, right? So like rice milk or different kinds of drinks.
Soy milk is the kind of milk that is made from soy beans, right?
Yes.
So do you know the beans that you make soy sauce with?
Yeah.
The yellow beans. And then we make them into soy milk. So it's actually very good for you, right?
Yeah.
Yes, quite nutritious.
For me, it's like a very good alternative to milk.
Yeah.
Because I'm a little bit allergic to milk. So if I drink soy milk, it's very... I don't get, the bad reactions.
Yeah, I think recent days, like a lot of people try vegetarians, right? So they will try to use soy milk to like a replacement of
in many foreign countries they also use soy milk, right? Yeah. And it's also much cheaper than real milk here in Taiwan.
It's very affordable.
It's very affordable.
Yeah.
And so do you want to talk about what these soy milk stores are actually? Yeah. So they're like food stalls, right? Like small restaurants.
Yeah.
But what is special about this store is that there are thousands of land widely spreading across the country, and most of the land open from evening to morning.
Yes.
Okay. It's really crazy.
A local soy milk store opens from 5 p.m. at night.
Yes.
To I think 11 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
The next morning. Yeah.
That's strange.
So you can buy your maybe dinner, late night snacks, breakfast and even early lunch at the same place.
Okay.
So I think it caters to people who are like, after they go into the bar, they can go there to eat some food.
Yes.
Or like for students, if you want to buy your breakfast on your way to school, you can also buy from this kind of shops, right?
So that's quite interesting that they're selling like meals that it's affordable to any kind of like breakfast, dinner, or lunch. They're okay for all these kind of meals.
I would say it's a very good hangover cure. Right? So like people who are just went to the club or like went to the bar, it's very good for them to have some warm comfort food.
Yeah.
It's a little bit, I would say it's like a diner in America, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Like across a lot of highways, you have like truckers that stay very late and then they can go get some food and also breakfast.
Yeah, it's quite similar.
So it's quite similar, I think I would say. Yeah.
Okay, so what's the point of telling like the soy milk stores just regular stores in Taiwan, or is there any special of it?
I have to say, these stores are actually the late night wonder of Taiwan. So you may consider that these Yonghe soy milk stores were run by a big company.
Because there's everywhere. So you can find. I'll give you a number here. Okay, so it's like in the capital city of Taiwan, it's Taipei, right?
Taipei
City. So in the whole Taipei city, there are like around 25 McDonald's. But we looking onto the map, there are actually like 280 shops of soy milk stores. Yeah. And most of them are named after a name.
Yonghe.
Yeah.
Most of them are called the same name. It's called Yonghe soy milk store.
Yeah, but they're not chain stores.
Yeah, they're not
run by different...
independent, and they don't have the same boss, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, somehow they just have some subtle consensus to share similar names.
Yeah.
Yes, like Yonghe soy milk. Or
Lai or something.
Yes, the king of Yonghe soy milk.
Yeah.
So in Taiwan, when a shop, like small food shops, they like to name themselves the king of what kind of food they're selling. It's very common here in Taiwan.
Yeah.
So if they sell soy milk, then they will say the king of soy milk.
Yes, and some similar combination like that.
Yes. So What does Yonghe mean?
Yonghe
What is it?
It's actually the name of a city that's very close to Taipei City.
Oh, okay.
Like a suburb area.
Yes.
So it's like maybe Philly cheesesteaks, right? So like the same, like a part of a city.
Yeah.
A very famous food that's named after a city.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's very similar like in Taiwan. So we have a whole lot of chains that have the same name.
Yeah.
Which means they come from this area called Yonghe.
Yeah. So why did this name just spread all around Taiwan? They all name Yonghe. Even if you get to the 1,000th part of Taiwan, or maybe like the islands around Taiwan, you will get Yonghe soy milk stores.
Yes.
So why is that happening?
Actually, the answer is in the following paragraph, but now maybe you can think it this way.
Okay.
The food in China is really, really famous and delicious, but those foods and the restaurant in Taipei selling food from Tainan, the name of the restaurant is never the same. Okay, they will not use the same name. They have their own brand.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
But Yonghe soy milk store is really a unique phenomena. They're everywhere and they share the same name.
Yonghe.
Yes, that's something is very bizarre. And it's so widely spread is another question, because if it is a chain store, that makes sense because it's run by a big company, but it's not. So what's the magic of Yonghe soy milk? Is something have to be answered.
Okay.
And for me, its business strategy is also quite unique because it opens at a really early morning to nearly lunchtime.
No, it opens from the
evening.
nighttime.
Right,
The
yes.
evening time to early noon. The second day, right?
Yes.
I always think that maybe there's like once there may be some very famous like a very famous store that sells soy milk or sell these kind of foods. It's very, very famous at maybe 20 or 40 years before, and everyone just copy their names. But after like a period of time, the famous one they just go bankrupt or something. So like everyone is just mocking their brand. That's my thought. I don't know what actually it is.
Actually, the real answer is quite special.
Okay.
All these unique phenomena actually have a lot to do with baseball.
Baseball.
Yes, our national sport.
Cool. So the name of a soy milk store was related to baseball.
Yes.
Okay.
But actually, it's a very long story. Everything started from the 50s.
50s.
So, and in the 50s, some veterans from mainland China started to sell Chinese snacks and soy milks to make a living.
So at that time, the soy milk or like those pastries are not quite famous in Taiwan, right?
Yes, actually, those food belongs to those immigrants from mainland China.
Mainland China.
They did not belong to local people. Yes. So because making this meal requires lots of labor, so this shop owner have to wake up very early to prepare for all this meal. So I think that's why they open in the early morning.
Like 2 or 3 o'clock at the
Yes.
Yeah.
So at the same time, the city government decided to reconstruct the bridge connecting Yonghe and Taipei City.
So it's like there's a river between Yonghe and Taipei City. So Taipei City is, like we said, it's our capital.
Yeah.
And Yonghe is like a small outlying city, like a satellite city.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the construction provides thousands of jobs and attracts workers everywhere from Taiwan. So during the construction, these workers just have some chance to enjoy these snacks and soy milks, and they really miss the flavor of these snacks. So after they came home, they just bring these snacks and soy milk to their hometown, and to prove that the flavor and the quality they provide is really authentic and it's really good. So they still tend to use the name of Yonghe. So that's why they all use Yonghe as their name.
Yeah, so it's just a very famous, like, to tell people that the food is from that area.
Yes.
That very famous area, yeah.
This story is actually quite persuasive to me because I think these kind of pastries or like soy milks are very good for workers, or especially labor workers, there's a lot of calories. In
they are very nutritious.
Yeah, very nutritious.
Like a lot of protein. And like calories to fuel you for the day, right?
Yeah, and very simple and very cheap.
And cheap
as well.
Mostly cheap.
Yeah.
So, but at that time, there's still food for workers and for immigrants.
For immigrants from northern China,
Yes.
and it's not like Taiwanese local food, right?
Yes.
So how did it become Taiwanese local food? There must be an emotional connection, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to introduce the relation between basketball and the soy milks.
Okay.
So in the late 60s, an event attracts the attention of all Taiwanese people and entirely changed the life focus at that time. That is baseball, our national sport. So at that time, our junior baseball team successfully entered the final round of the World Cup.
Oh.
Yes. So everyone was so inspired by the news. And the most popular daily talk is baseball, and baseball.
Yeah.
Yes. So at night, nearly everyone crowded in front of televisions and fixed their eye on the screens and observed every change in the games. So they cheered loudly for our team. So after the broadcast, this hungry audience have to find something to eat. But at that time, they don't have convenience stores, so the only available food is Yonghe soy milk.
Okay.
So at that time, visiting Yonghe soy milk at night is like a daily routine.
So it's like some special ritual after watching baseball. You have to go to those
Like watching
Yonghe.
football games. You have to stay up very late, right?
Yes.
And when you stay up very late, you don't have food to eat. And when you get hungry, because when you're watching a game, you definitely want to nibble on something with your friends.
Yeah.
And so this is a very good choice for us.
Yes,
at
at
that
that
time.
time, Taiwanese people, like daily routine is like work and off duty, watch a baseball game, and visiting the Yonghe soy milk stores.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So after a period of time, it becomes a habit, or
Become very familiar to Taiwanese people.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
And it all started from a baseball game, which is very cool.
yeah, very cool.
And actually, I want to compare this with like the Philly cheesesteak that I told you, the famous sandwich in Philadelphia in America, right?
Yeah.
So they also that kind of sandwich is also related to baseball.
Oh, really?
Oh, really?
Yeah, so they also buy that kind of sandwich to go to watch baseball games in America. So it's also very strongly related to watching the ball games.
The ball games, yeah.
So that is a very good comparison, a very special comparison between these two kind of foods.
Yes.
Interesting.
And you can see that people eat some specific food for doing some specific activity, right?
Yes. It's really beyond my imagination that baseball is the thing that make soy milk become our national food.
It makes such a food, external food.
Yes.
Yeah. But I would say, like Taiwanese people, I think when in our childhood, there's actually a very famous, I think, Wang Jianming, or a baseball player that was very famous. They play in MLB, right? The big league.
Major League
Yankees,
Baseball,
Major League,
Yes.
In Yankees.
Yankees,
we remember
right.
like when we were a kid,
Yeah.
like the Yankee logo was everywhere. Right?
Yeah.
People wore like shirts with Yankee logos on it.
Yes.
Yeah, everyone watched baseballs at that time.
It was a
Nowadays,
fever.
people just wear like basketball jerseys, and we don't watch baseball as much. I don't think.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. Not quite popular.
Not quite as popular as the people used to.
Yeah.
Right?
So, but because the story you've told about is like in the '60s, so I haven't been. It's hard for me to imagine this kind of.
It belongs to our mother's generations.
Yeah. But it's just maybe
Even
somewhat
before
like
them, even before them. Yeah,
even before
that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what I want to talk about actually is our personal connections with these shops, these Yonghe Doujiang shops, right?
Yeah.
So what are your experiences with these shops?
Well, I have to say, the food sold in soy milk store is really a good choice for late night snacks.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yes, maybe after playing volleyball with our classmates, maybe we will visit soy milk stores together.
We went to like volleyball practice, right? When we were freshmen. And then after we played volleyball, we went to eat some food from the Yonghe, soy milk stores.
Yes.
And also sometimes like after we go singing in the karaoke, singing karaoke at night. and then it's very late and we cannot find food, or we got a little bit hangover, then this is a very good place for us to go.
I remember one time we're going to, well, the first time we're going to KTV at late night. So we have sing all around past the night, and the daylight's coming out, and it's like 4 or 5 o'clock, and we're like in the city center, and there's no store, there are no shops open, and we just walk all along the street and find one Yonghe soy milk shop, and we thought that we're going to have something to eat. Then we found out that it's not open. The door was closed. But there's some light inside. We can figure out there's some light inside. So we're just go knock the door and ask if we're running, or if we're running your business about to open. But they're actually opening. They're actually opening. So we just go into there and go in the shop and have a like breakfast or something.
Yeah. So I think if you visit this kind of shops, you can find a lot of like early workers, like a lot of like cleaners in the city. They have to wake up very early before everybody wakes up.
Yeah.
So it's a good place. You can see a lot of people eating there, and sometimes like students who go to school quite early, they can buy them before going to school.
Yeah.
Or college students who haven't slept yet.
Yes.
That's very common. You can find these three kind of people there. Yeah. So it's a very good hangout place also during the night, and I quite enjoy going there. Right.
Yeah.
And what's special about soy milk store is that nearly all your food is freshly made, deep fried breadstick. You can see
they're making
cooker.
them. Yeah.
Yes,
They
they are rolling the dough.
freshly cooked.
Yes.
Yeah.
And all sorts of milks. So like soy milks,
rice
and also
milk.
Rice milk. Have you ever heard of rice milk?
That's my favorite. That's my favorite.
Yeah, comment below if you have ever tried rice milk, or if you want to know more about rice milk, you can comment below and ask us. Yeah. That's quite cool, I would say. It's like
very great.
Brown.
Yeah, brown. It's brown, and it's soy milk made in brown color. Yeah, that's cool, and the taste is really good.
That's definitely a very big part of our college memory. And if you ever come to Taiwan, I encourage you to try it. Right? Yeah. So please follow us on Spotify, on YouTube, and everywhere you can find us. And we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.